Yeah, Coach, when we talked to you at the start of spring, you kind of wanted to see what you had, and evaluate those guys on their own merits. I know you've watched film of them. As you close out spring, what do you think you have in your room?
Hard workers, guys that come to work every day. I think we got a good collective group from top to bottom. So I'm excited to see kind of how we finish off this spring. How we finish off this meeting today is critical as well, but then how we finish off on Saturday is going to be critical.
I know Peyton Lewis has been limited, he's not been able to do everything, but what has he been able to get out of the spring from an observing standpoint?
I think understanding, learning from his teammates. I tell the guys all the time, the best teacher in the room is the guy next to you. So learning and watching them, learning in meetings, being able to go through and see in walkthroughs how guys are operating, being able to see in the team settings how guys are operating. Like, the best teacher that you have is the guys in front of you. He's done a really good job of asking questions, and the guys in the room have done a phenomenal job of being able to come in and help him out as well. Like, a lot of times in meetings when I'm getting ready to correct someone, you got a question, they jump right on it and answer it.
Austin.
I know you weren't here last year before you got injured, but what have you found with Deshaun Bishop this spring? What have you liked about what he's done, and kind of just the progression from maybe the first practice to now?
I call him the spark plug. You know, he's done a really good job from practice one until where we are today in terms of getting better every single practice. Like, he's intentional of coming in the meetings, asking questions. He's intentional about taking notes in the meeting room. And then when he gets out here on the field, he does a really good job of just executing at a high level. Even if he makes a mistake, he does it going 100 miles an hour. And then he'll come over to the sideline and ask a question, Coach, what did I do wrong? He never makes the same mistake twice in that situation in team period. So he's done a good job.
Adam.
Deshaun's obviously been getting more time now because of the injuries. If he needs to play a whole lot this season, especially early in the year because of those injuries, like, what does he need to work on between now and then to be game ready?
Just continue, like all of them, just continue to work on pass protection. Continue to work on the whole game holistically, to be honest with you. From seeing the running game into also in the pass protection game, in terms of just all it comes down to is fundamentals. We're making sure my eyes are in the right places.
Paige, then Caleb.
Dylan Sampson obviously took a huge step forward last season. What have you seen from him during spring practice, or maybe he's taking another step forward or improving other aspects of his game?
I think with Dylan, you sit here and you look at him from the mental aspect of the game in terms of now growing and from a pass protection standpoint, and then also just being a leader. I think that's a tremendous step for him now in terms of in this room where it is some young guys in the room. He's taking a really good step in terms of bringing them along, you know, being the leader of the room. But I think holistically in his game, being detailed, he's a lot further along from a detail standpoint right now than he was at the beginning of the spring. It's including starting off in winter workout. So he's taking a huge step forward from that aspect.
Where have you seen Khalifa Keith make the biggest jump this spring?
You know, I think with Khalifa, I think every day with him is another step to take forward. I think right now the biggest jump with him is just having the confidence in himself. You know, the confidence in himself to be out here and execute, even if he makes a mistake, not get down and let it get him in a rut for the next play. I think that portion of it has been good. I think also just continue to learn how to run. You know, that's the biggest key. Understanding what your size is and understand how to use that as a weapon.
Patrick, then Brent.
Coach, obviously with the sort of a young group, not a lot of guys have done a lot of pass protection in games. How much of an emphasis has that been, and have you seen growth from guys like Deshaun and Khalifa and the other guys?
It's been huge. Majority of our time in individual has been spent on pass protection this spring. And every day is a day to get better at it. Some days is rougher than others, but you got to learn from the days. Like, we do a really good job from a practice standpoint of structuring our time, going one-on-ones versus linebackers because they need those live reps. So the more that we're able to do that, the better we're going to be. So they're taking steps with it, but we still got miles to go from that standpoint as well.
Coach, with Dylan being a veteran, when you get into teams period and scrimmage stuff, has he gotten the bulk of the work, or do you limit his work because you want to see more of those young guys to see where they are? How do you manage the workload from a guy who's a veteran, but maybe he's not the most experienced veteran out there?
You give him work in terms of the situations that he needs. Like, he's gotten his work, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's going out there taking days off and nothing. Like, no, we put him in there, he gets his work in the situational aspect of it that he needs, any specific play that he needs as well, but he has to get in the rhythm and the flow, so he has gotten his reps. And then also you put in, just like you said, the younger guys that need the majority of the reps as well, they get their reps. So we've been able to maintain that.
going back to Deshaun, what would you say his strength is right now as a running back?
You know what I think right now is his vision, honestly. His eyes and his feet are able to match together. You know, he doesn't allow his feet to play ahead of his eyes. You understand? He understands what a hold is going to be at from an anticipation standpoint, and now he's able to make that cut and be able to go. So his patience, his vision, and then his eyes and his feet are married up together.
Here.
How would you assess your group's ability to catch the ball out of the backfield? Do you think that could be a strength for some guys in the room?
It's good, but it's something that we're always going to continue to work on to get better at. I think, like, right now, you see him be able to catch the ball out the backfield and make some plays on the perimeter, but that's one of the games, like, that we're going to continue to work at. You know, we're never, ever going to sit up here and feel like we arrived, so it's always a weakness that we got to get better at.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate y'all.